digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Hello, hang on for 1 minute. Just let me do something here and then I will be with you. Right, hang on. Get rid of that. There you go. Hi and good evening and welcome to this really shortened news beat of THFC till we die. Hot and Tottenham past and present, under exciting future, under Thomas Frank. And have we any transfer business to tell you? No, not a dicky bird, not an absolute zilch. It's like Tottenham Hotspur transfer market or transfer team have gone to sleep for the whole summer and they refuse to wake up. And look, I'm not saying the Eze deal. Look, we broke 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, that Eze was 95% done. I still stand by that. And I stand by the people that told me, and I will always stand that, and I stand by it and I stand over it. I'm not shirking for what I put out there. And it wasn't clickbait for anyone wants to know or likes to have a jab at me. It was genuine news that we got and we ran with it and we decided to run with it. And I have proof to back that up. So I don't need to prove to anyone that I clickbait. I don't clickbait. I think what's got me annoyed is we've done all the hard work for Eze, and we've ended up letting other clubs in because we've been so damn slow. Slow at what? Now, again, it proves Johan Lang's not good at his job. What Paratici doing? Do you know Paratici can't start until the 20th of July? Now, everyone says he's back today, he's banned end today. But I think there's something within that. He cannot start until the 20th of this month. So there's that to look into. And all this with the PSR and everything going along with that, we shouldn't be in this problem. We should be bringing in players now, 4 or 5 players to help us improve ourselves, to build on what we did last season, to build on that success, to give Thomas Frank a chance to move on and and build on the success we've had before under Ange Postecoglou. Now, I've been watching a few channels the last few days, and somebody, I don't know, was it Dave or somebody said, Dave Harris from the Irish Hotspur, said, did they do this as by design? I'm just so annoyed and so pissed off as a fan that we can't get a simple thing as getting a signing right. Other clubs have strengthened their squad. Even Manchester United, who, no disrespect, Colin, I know you're in the chat. Man United were as awful as we were. And finished, were awful as we are, still get signings done. We can't even do that. And so that begs the question, to actually Tottenham know the transfer window's open. And yes, before anyone says, yes, we bought 4 players in. Well, one of them was an obligation to buy, which was Danso. We went and bought Matthias Tel because we knew Bayern Munich owed us 30 million. So, that's a freebie nearly. Then we bought in a Japanese kid that's supposed to be this wonder kid. Will we see him play a lot this season? I doubt it. And then we see buying this Vacevic, who by all accounts is some hell of a defender, but will we see him play this year? Then on top of that, we're talking about selling Romero to Atletico Madrid. And then we're haggling. We're haggling over who to buy, Eze or Kudus. You buy Eze all day long. And the thing is, what annoys me, and I know this is a fact, and this is also printed within football.london as well. So I know I got told this, and plus it's printed in football.london, so I know it's true, is that we already agreed with Palace we would pay the release clause. But we've been so slow getting to Eze to get personal terms done on him, or we won't match his wages. We've just sat there and did nothing. And when it comes around to the start of the season, every other club in the league's going to be strengthened, and Tottenham's going to be scrambling around like they always do, with 2 days to go left at transfer window. Let's try to pull a rabbit out of the hat. It just really beggars belief that an organisation like Tottenham Hotspur couldn't organise. I don't know how to put this, probably in one way. They couldn't organise a piss up in a brewery. They really couldn't. Daniel Levy couldn't anyway. Big up to Giant 868. Big up Dermo and all Coys. Big up to you, Giant 8. We've got Wayne Bonner. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all hope all are well and enjoying the transfer. Tottenham's transfer business. What business? We don't know how to do business. We really don't. The transfer we want to hear is a transfer of power from Levy to New House investors. Look, I even bet Levy's trying to balls that up as well. I actually have asked, can I have an update on that? What is happening? So as soon as I get any update on that, I'll bring to you straight away, guys. Gerard O'Connor saying Vincent de Paul was closed today. Yeah, as new owners. Big up to you, Colin. He says, you guys took too long on the deal and Arsenal have swooped in. Looks like they were getting... See, this is the problem. We had the deal there. We were 95% done. We had the deal agreed with Crystal Palace. All we had to do was go in and talk to the player. What do you want wages wise? Right, we'll pay you that. This is what we're going to do. Job done. 20 odd million a year over 3 years. And then down to Daniel's liking. And then that's it. Job done. Signs for Tottenham. Signs a piece of paper, holds up the shirt. But no. We decide to take a hell of a long time just to get this one deal done, and then we're like a kiddie in the toy shop. We get one toy, and we decide, oh, that toy looks nicer, but the toy we're getting is probably the best toy in the shop, and it's cheaper. But we go for another toy which is a load of crap, and about to fall apart. We'll go for that one. That's better value. Please, for the love of God, just sign somebody. We could end up signing no one at this rate, and that would be terrible if that happened. Big up Wayne, typical Tottenham transfer cap, no plan, no clue. We should have at least 2 ready to go players through the gates already. Yeah, and all this, you hear Daniel Levy and his interview when he did that loving with Vinny, and it was a loving. We want to win the Premier League. We want to win the Champions League. Well, if you want to win them 2 titles, you have to spend money. So please actually spend some and buy some players in, because we're going to end up again having a manager having one hand tied behind his back, going into a season with the players that they want, not what the manager wants. So it gets so frustrating. It's so frustrating. And you look at other teams just doing business left, right, and center. Do you know? Oh, well, I don't know. Big up the column. We were worse. No, we were worse. We finished 17th. I know we won a European trophy, and all that should be brilliant and happy. And yay, we won a trophy. We've been worse in the transfer market. You've been productive. You've been, you've gone out there and you've got players in. Look, you nearly got 2 players in already. Arsenal, they've been productive in the transfer market, bringing in players left, right, and centre. So Liverpool, so are Chelsea. Chelsea, before the Club World Cup Championship, bought Delapte for, I think, 30 or 40 million euro. Why can we have not gone for a Delapte for 30 million euro? He doesn't fit the model that Tottenham like to transfer in. What model is that? It's a model that doesn't work. Big up David Clark. Hi from Leicester. I've heard more chatter from my local nunnery than Spurs transfer echo. Yeah, I know, David. It's been absolutely dreadful. Big up What's the Point TV. Kudus is no better than Stephen Birdving. We've swooped to a new low. The standards has gone up. Well, we'll wait and see. Kudus is a Dutch standard league. He's rubbish. Levy wants to pay 60 million for trash. And we actually agreed that the buyout clause for Eze. We actually agreed it. All we had to do was go through personal terms. That was it. That's all we had to do. And you leave that to Levy and he balls us that up. Big up to What's the Point? Since Levy has a habit of overpaying for trash, just looks yeah, that's true. Big up Gerard. Levy was caught robbing Troy care boxes in the church with no. Yeah, I know. Like I've said for years, Levy is like a dog under the kitchen table waiting for the stray bone. Yeah, it's shocking. It is shocking. What else we got? We got What's the Point? We pay for top prices for season tickets, club merch, food, merch, but we're not allowed to have top quality transfer windows like an elite club. Levy out. Look, I'm on the verge of leave. I am on Levy out now. Look. I've always had this philosophy that I will praise Levy if he's done well, but criticize him when he's not doing well, and he's not doing well. We sacked a manager. And Dave said it as well earlier, and I do agree with him actually on this point, that I think we had 2 options with Ange. It was either stick by him and buy 5 quality players, or sack Ange so we didn't have to buy them 5 quality players. And again, we've ended up sacking Ange and not buying anyone. It's got to a point where I think the model that we do use, it's broken. It doesn't work. And we talk about buying young players. What you want to buy experience with them young players. It's just really it doesn't take a brain scientist to work out who the problem is and where the problem lies. And Johan Lung as well, he deserves a lot of heat for this as well. What's he doing? He's supposed to be our football director getting these deals done. Where's he? He's gone silenced he's gone all quiet all of a sudden. Where's he hiding? Under Levy's chairman table in the chairman's room? Oh, it won't come out yet because it's a bit too hot and a bit too busy. Get the job done. Get the players in. That's what we want. We want to see progression. We want to see progression. We're not seeing any progression. We're just seeing backward steps. And if we carry on the way we're going, we're going to end up where we were last season. Because look, with all the rumors going around that we're going to sell Romero, you don't want to sell your best player to buy crap in. You need to add to your best players. You need to prove to your best players, look who we're bringing in. This is our plan for this season. This is what I want to do. And I'm sure Thomas Frank came in with some assurances that we will be getting this player, that player, that player. And none of them are working out. Now, we could wake up tomorrow morning and find out of nowhere Eze signed for Spurs, which I'm not giving up hope on yet, by the way, because I haven't heard anything concrete, either for the people I use or what I've read in the press, that he's going to Arsenal. I think Arsenal haven't even made contact with him yet. And I read that in Football.London today from Alistair Gold. So I am holding out that we get Eze in before we get Kudos. But who would you rather out of the two? Who's the better player? And I think Eze's a better player than Kudos all day long. Kudos is sort of player that's going to cause mischief and cause that little bit of hassle in the middle of the park. Yeah, that's great. But you want somebody in there with a bit of skill and a little bit of guile and a little bit of somebody that can pull the strings, from the middle of the park. That number 10 that's going to dare step up, push Maddison to be Maddison a better player. And we don't have that. So, and again, what top quality players are we going after? No one. Jonathan David's on the free. He may not be everyone's cup of tea, but he's a quality player. Go and get him. Why can we not go and get Jonathan David? Because A, we won't pay the wages. We won't pay the wages. We won't pay 200 grand to a player. This this wage cap of not paying nobody over a certain wage is ridiculous, and it has to stop. Levy and Enoch couldn't organise and the alphabet if they had the diagrams and instructions. No, Eze wouldn't happen. Or Levy, yeah. Look, I feel bad because I'm giving you the news what I'm getting, and it's getting you guys hopes up, and I'm getting my hopes up. And then again, it's like the rug's been pulled out from you. Levy just goes, nah, we're not going for that player. No, we won't go for him. Why? Why won't you go for him? Because why? Because you don't want to pay the wages. Just join the real world and actually pay the bloody wages. Big up to John. Apparently we're getting a new youth goalkeeper for Man City, Farron Duran, in the scholarship. Wow. I'm really liking that. That's just the news we want to hear. We're looking for quality signings, and they're more interested in bringing in a new youth goalkeeper. Seriously. Unreal. Unbelievable. Big up, Giant. Thank you very much. 22 watching, 7 likes. Come on, peeps, hit that like and subscribe. Yeah, if you can. I'll tell you what I'm going to do very quickly. I'm going to get it out of the way because I normally forget to do it. But guys, this channel, actually, I'll do it a little bit later. Big up to A Gibbs. Haven't seen you before, so do hit the like button and subscription if you can. He says Levy overpays. I thought he doesn't spend makeup. He doesn't overpay. He overpays on crap players, but he doesn't spend the money on wages. And that's the thing. That's the point I'm getting. He will overpay on a crap player and pay him like Timo Werner, right? 160 grand a week. Absolutely crap. Couldn't run down the wing if he wanted to. He's now been sold, I think, from RB Leipzig to the MLS for €4 million. And he was on 160 grand a week. So Levy does overpay on certain players. He overpays on wages to certain players, but he won't go over that limit sort of thing. He won't go over a wage limit, and that's it. And we're left struggling. We can't get players in. We can't get the players that are quality to build our squad, to improve our squad, to improve on what we're going to do next season. We're in the Champions League next season. We get knocked out at Christmas by the Champions League. That's it. We're out of Europe completely. There's no dropping down to the Europa League or whatever. We're out. And we're going in there with a squad where we could lose Romero. Nobody's actually getting their heads around that. We could lose Romero. Romero could say, enough of this crap. You sack Ange, I'm off to Atletico Madrid. And I don't want to lose Romero. I want to bring quality players in and not lose players. Big up to GJ Samuel. Big up DJ. All the targets are going like pizza slices. Yeah, they are. What's the point? I agree 100%, Dermot. Big up to Tony as well. Big up Tony, and congrats again on reaching 1,000 subscribers. Do get over. It's actually is the only West Ham channel I truly watch and truly respect. He is a great guy, a lovely fella as well, and we have to get you on before the West Ham game this year. Tony, we'll have to do something, join up and do something on both channels. But big up to you, Tony. Thank you for dropping in and saying hello. I hope you do, man. Congrats again, man. Really well deserved. A. Gibbs said, Levy model is broken. Fans moan he doesn't spend money. They say he overpays. Compare polar opposite comments. It is broken. You are you happy with Levy's model? Are you happy with the way that we do business? Are you happy that I never said he overpays, by the way? He overpays on rubbish. Yeah, he does. But I never said he overpays. He doesn't pay the right wages. He doesn't bring in the right players. So if you're applying that Levy model is broken, it is broken. You go out, your job every summer is to improve what you built on last season. Your job, especially with the new manager, is to improve the squad. It's to bring in the players he wants to improve the squad that he's already got. And if you don't do that, if you don't improve the squad you've already got, or you don't give the manager the player he wants, then you just cannot build on success. You cannot build on what you're trying to improve because you're not adding to that. You're not adding quality to that squad, but you end up thinking, hang on, we'll sell our quality defender in Romero, but what are you going to replace him with? A young lad from Japan or the 18-year-old we bought from Vladovic. Yeah, he's going to be the next best thing. Instead, keep Romero and add quality to the squad. Back the manager in what he wants. Don't sack Ange. Keep Ange. No disrespect to Thomas Frank. Or if you're going to sack Ange, bring in a high-quality manager or bring in Thomas Frank and back the players that manager needs. Back him with quality players. And if you don't back with quality players, you're not going to move forward. You're not going to keep progressing or getting better because you're just going to keep going back all the time. And we've seen so much of this over the last 20 odd years that we never, ever, ever tried to build on something that we've had. We reached Champions League final under Pochettino. We finished second in the league. We finished third in the league. We reached semi-finals, reached Champions League final. We could have built on from that. We could have cleared the decks and bring in quality players. We were getting an awful lot of money from the Champions League and really build on something what Poch was building. He built the first phase. Now it's time to build the second phase. Bring in some good youngsters, keep some of the best experienced players you got, and then build with some of the youngsters and mold it into another Poch part 2. But we didn't do that. We didn't buy anyone for 3 transfer windows. Why? Because we were building the stadium. And now we're here. We're building towers and hotels at the back of the south stand that look absolutely horrendous. And that's where the money's going. So there's money for building, there's for hotels, and there's money for doing this, and there's money for doing that. But there's no money for transfer market. There's no money to bring in players. And then we end up scrimping and saving. Well, we won't buy Eze, who's worth sort of 20 million a year, but we can afford to pay the wages you want. But no, we won't do that. We'll go and get somebody like Timo Werner, who will pay 160 grand a month, but he's absolutely useless, but he's the player I like. So where do you go? I'm getting fed up with it. If Enoch, hang on, I got something here. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Um, I'll just see. I want to see? Can I use what I was? Can I just see? Can I use that? If Enoch are at the stage of putting in formal building plans for 4 buildings, that's what I was on about. Which is a huge hotel means they must have funds available to construct them, but no money for. That's the point I was making. You saw the construction plans they have for these hotels and these 4 towers behind the South Stand. Really? Who wants to see them? Seriously. I rather have White Hart Lane and a team that is capable of winning the Premier League than Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and the shite we've been watching. And I'm being honest, I'd rather have White Hart Lane and stay where we were, keep the stadium, just redevelop it from the inside and buy decent players. When we bought this new stadium, when we built this new stadium, it was to bring us to the next level. We're going to be successful. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And nothing happens. And then every summer, there's the same tripe that comes out. Oh, we're going to win the Premier League. We're building for this. We're building for that. Never happens. Again, a couple of weeks ago, we're building for the Premier League. We're going to go in for Eze. We're going to put all the hard work in, get it almost done. Just 5% more to go. We need 5%. Just cross the I's and dots the T's. That's all we've got to do. But no, we balls it up and we sit and do nothing. Arsenal come in. Oh, hello. Would you like to come play for us? We'll give you this amount of money a week. We'll pay you this as a bonus. You're not a first team player, but you're a squad player. But we still pay you treble what you want now. And we can guarantee you trophies. Yeah, okay, I'll go with you. And we're left standing at the altar, standing there with our hands behind our back and just standing there because we haven't finished off what we're doing. Oh, it's gets ready. I mean, I was sent this, and it is what I'm trying to say, really. Put into context, Chelsea have signed Delep and others. Arsenal look like they will be signing Gyökeres to add to what they've already done. Liverpool are signing Vods plus others are now in talks with Adiake, which means Spurs are still building their target list. This should have been done months ago, if not in the middle of last season. We should have known by May time, right? This is what we're doing with Ange Postecoglou. We're going to sack Ange, whatever or not, we're going to sack him. We're bringing Thomas Frank in. Okay, Thomas Frank, what plays do you want? Right, we're gonna make one marquee signing. We're gonna go and buy Eze from Crystal Palace. We're gonna pay them the release clause, which they did agree, and we'll get in there. And before the end of June, we'll have it all paperwork ready to go. Then on the 1st of July, we'll put the paperwork through. There you go, announce it. Tottenham will sign Eze from Crystal Palace for €68 million. Job done. But no, Chelsea have done stuff before the end of their PSR ends. Arsenal have done stuff. Liverpool have done stuff. Liverpool didn't need to add to a team that's already good anyway, but they're building on a team to dominate the Premier League. And what we're doing, we're standing there. We're standing there doing nothing because we don't want to spend money. We don't want to spend money. We don't want to do this. We don't want to do that. Oh, yeah, we'll get that player. But nah, do you know what? Mr. Levy? What do you think? Nah, I'd rather spend more money on a hotel than pay money on a player. I am sick of this development crap. And that's what it is. We're not a football club. A football club would go out and buy players. That's what a football club is to do. Football club is built to play football, to buy players, sell players, and that's how a football club works. Yeah, you sell your season tickets, you try to make it as exciting as you can for the fans, you sell your merchandise, and you get money in from that. If you have to do any other bit of outside money raising, then you do. But all that money goes back into the football club. Any money that we make goes into another building, a hotel. I don't want a hotel. I want us to buy players that can win us the Premier League, that can win us the Champions League, that can keep us competitive to winning major trophies. Do we have to wait another 17 years before we win our next trophy? Do we have to wait another 41 years before we win our next European Cup or our European trophy? Are we now going to say, well, I've reached the promised land, I've reached the top of the tree, but do you know what? I don't want to stay here anymore. We're going to do nothing, and then we're going to go right back to the bottom of the mountain again, and we're going to walk right back up it again. I enjoyed that bit. When you get to the top of the mountain, or when you succeed at something, you improve yourself. You improve to stay there. That's the battle. The battle is to stay at the top. The battle is to make sure that you improve on what you do. And we don't do that at Tottenham. We never have, and we never will under Levy and Enoch. And the sooner the shower of incompetent people go, the better. Look, I supported Tottenham from a time when we nearly went bust under Ivan Scholar. And I never want to see that. I never want any other fans to go through what I went through as a young teenage Tottenham fan. Going to bed every night, do I have a football club to support in the morning? It was a really, really trying time as a fan. Do you know, will Tottenham Hotspur succeed? Will we survive? Yes, Alan Sugar and Terry Venables, whatever you think of them, came in and saved the football club. And yes, they did save the football club. Alan Sugar saved the football club. Whatever you think of Terry Venables, whatever you think of Alan Sugar, they both came in and did what they said they were going to do. Then Terry Venables was sacked three years later for doing something that was never proven. But I'll always give Terry Venables credit where credit's due. He won us an FA Cup, and he was our manager, and he did work behind the scenes to save our football club. No matter if he got the money himself or he was loaned the money or whatever, I don't care. He saved the football club with Alan Sugar. Alan Sugar then spent the next 10 years of trying to put in the foundations of our stability of financial thing. He spent a lot of money himself for an awful lot of abuse. And then he ended up selling to Levy and Enoch. And what's the first thing Levy and Enoch can do? We're going to buy this football club to make money. We're not buying it to be successful. We're buying it because we're in an investment company. So that should have been the first warning signs going. That should have been the first warning signs there and then. Then you go all the way to Martin Yole. You sack him at halftime, which was the most terrible, disgusting thing you could ever do to a manager. And then you keep going on and on and on. Sacking managers every 18 months. Harry Redknapp, Pochettino, and I think Ange Postecoglou is our three longest service managers under the Levy and Enoch group. Just think that in. Harry Redknapp, Pochettino, and Ange Postecoglou. And anyone out of them three who's ever won a trophy under Levy has been Ramas in 2008 and Ange Postecoglou in 2025. 2 trophies in 24 years. 17 years apart. And we had this great success under Pochettino, where we nearly won the league and we nearly got to FA Cup finals and we got to a Champions League final. And we've done all these things, but nothing ever came from it because we never built from it. Any other team, you build on top of that success. Even if you're going to sack the manager, you make sure you bring the next manager up. This is how much funds you're going to get. And this is what you're going to do. And these are the players we're getting. Mourinho were brought in, a win-now manager. Didn't back him. Sack him 6 days before cup final. We bring in Conte, another winner-now manager. Didn't get what he won. Threw his toys at the pram after Southampton and got himself sacked. And then we brought in Ange Postecoglou, won us a trophy. But the league form was disastrous. So he's got to go because of that. So then you bring in Thomas Frank. Right. He's got decent players there. Let's add to it. No, we're not. We're not going to do a damn thing. But we'll keep leaking out. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to buy this player. But we'll keep sitting doing nothing. And it's getting annoying. It's getting annoying. It's getting to the point where I don't think they give a shit about the football club, but they give a shit about the next hotel they're going to build. The sooner they leave, the better. Big up to Wayne Dye. It says, Levy's a good businessman, not a football man. Yeah, exactly. I think that sums it up completely. A Gibbs says where Levy is strange and bizarre, he spends a lot on transfer, but doesn't on wage exactly. But he does spend a big, like him or not. He does spend big, but what's he spend big on? He doesn't, as you say, he doesn't spend it on wages. He spends it on players that are not good enough, that are probably good enough to play for the middle tier downwards of the Premier League. We're Tottenham Hotspur. We're supposed to be an elite big club. Well, we need to start acting like an elite and big club. Kudus has no relevance to Eze as a totally different player. Kudus plays wide on the right and can go both ways, cut inside the Danafank or plays as second striker. But it's either one or the other, isn't it, David? It is. It's either one or the other. That's why I don't have hope until players are signed. Well, I stick by people like who give me the news and I stand by it and I'll stand over it. Levy has just disappoints me every time. Gibbs says, big up to A. Gibbs. Romero, Van der Ven, Madison, Solanke, Son, Nombele, Richard. Right. Let's look at Romero, good signing. Van der Ven, good signing. Madison, 50-50. Solanke, 50-50. Sonny, club legend. Dombele, the biggest waste of money you could ever wish to play in the player. He was absolutely woeful. Should never have come to us, should never have played for us. And when he did come here, he didn't want to play here. He was crap. Richarlison, 50-50. Johnson, yeah, well, I love Johnson anyway. Yeah, he does spend money. Don't be biased due to dislike. I'm not being biased due to dislike. But please tell me, Dombele, was he a good signing? No, he wasn't a good signing. It's Richarlison the good signing. Richarlison's all he's done since he's come to us, to be fair, has been injured. I will grant you Romero, Van der Ven, Romero and Van der Ven, the best signings we've ever made, are next to Toby and Jan, are central defenders. Madison is 50-50. He can start off well and then fizzle out and then come back good again. Solanke, is your 2025 goal season striker? No. He should sort of play deep striker to set the main striker up. Sonny, as I said, is a legend. He's a club legend. No matter what anyone thinks of Sonny, I love Sonny. And Sonny's a legend. Dombele, the biggest waste of money this side of Earth. He was crap. So you're looking at two there. And he got lucky with Romero and Van der Ven. They were both bought young. Nobody heard of them before we bought them. So I don't know what you're trying to get at, because there's two players there that were a complete waste of money. And both of them are record club signings. Dombele and Richarlison. Yeah, I grant you Romero's good, Van der Ven's good, Madison is good, and Johnson. I love Johnson, so I wouldn't have anything bad to say about the player. But Richarlison, our club of reg signings, Dombele and Richarlison. No, not for me. Mr. Bean could do better than that. Levy, yeah. He paid Werner Richarlison some massive wages. He does pay fans. Fans just biased due to it. It's not dislike. We've spent money, yeah, I'm not disputing that, but we haven't spent it wisely and we haven't spent it correctly. We spent it in a way that it's about as good as, I don't know, Mr. Bean could have done better. But we're a football club. We're not a management. We're not an entertainment facility. Under Levy, we spent terrible, absolute joke. How you think of the value, I know. I want Romero, but I think he is gone. I think he's going to Atletico Madrid myself. Big up to Play for Spurs. Big up to you. Says, hi, Dom. I hope you're well. For me, there have been players where we've been offered the same wages as other clubs. Most players choose not to go to Spurs. We need consistency in the dugout before anything else. Yeah, that's actually very true. And we could have had that on the ranch, but we didn't. And it's that to do with the 22 league defeats we had last season, I wonder. If he finished top 10 and we won the Europa League, would we have and reached the semi-final of the League Club? Would we have sacked Ange? I don't think so. I think the only reason we sacked him was because we lost 22 league games. Okay. All right. I just want to give you a breakdown if I can. I don't know if I can. What I might have to do is do this into. If you just give me 2 minutes, guys, I want to put this onto a PDF because I think it sort of sums up my argument why I am. So let me. Just let me just do this very quickly. I'll tell you what I'll do. Before we carry on, while I'm doing that, maybe you can give our channel sponsor a quick like. It give me just enough time to get this put onto a PDF for you. Do our channel, we are sponsored by Private Internet Access, the best private the VPN around, guys. So do give them a like. The link is in the description below. And also, do while you're there is a link. We are being voted for most underrated Spurs channel and best daytime show as well. So please do link on that and give us a like. Just give me 1 minute and 32 seconds of your time, and I'll have these PDFs done for you. All right, back in 2 seconds.
Let me talk to you. A little reference there, but I'm going to stop messing about. I'm going to talk to you about Private Internet Access, the best VPN in the land. Now, when you're online, you may not realize, but all of your data is there for the taking by anybody. With a VPN such as Private Internet Access, your data is safe and secure, streamlined, and nobody else can get hold of it. That's why I use one anyway. VPN's very easy to use. Private Internet Access, all you got to do is log on your phone, select where you want to be. So I want to be in America, and I click go, and there we are. You can also link up your devices to it from your phone if that is easier for you. It's available on a lot of platforms as well. As you can see, you can use it for a very, very big range of things. So that's even better as well. You can use it, like I said, on all your devices, smartphone, tablets, gaming consoles, and stick it on your modem. And it's unlimited devices. One equals all. It's available all across the world, and it works perfectly. What they do is they mask your IP address, so pesky 3 o'clock kickoffs aren't an issue anymore, and they're independently audited, so there's no logs, 30 million customers, and 4.5-star Trustpilot rated excellent review. Private Internet Access. Get yours now.
Right, that didn't work. I'm still doing it. Right, let me give you sort of a value off it then, right? Okay, now I'm going to give you a couple of options, right? Here's a breakdown of some of the top earners Spurs have. Sonny earns £190,000 a week. That's 9.8 million annually a year. James Madison's on £170,000 a week. Timo Werner was on £165,000 a week. That's 8.58 annually on loan. Cristiano Romero, £165,000 a week. Kulu's on 110. Richarlison's on 90. Dominic Solanke's on 90 as well. But here's the more detailed breakdown of some of the top earners at Manchester United. Casemiro, £350,000 a week. Bruno Fernandes, £300,000 a week. Mason Mount, who hasn't played at all, by the way, £250,000 a week. We've got De Ligt on 195,000. We've got Harry Maguire on 190,000. We've got Luke Shaw on £150,000 a week. We've got Christian Eriksen on £150,000 a week. We've got Nusa Mazraoui £135,000 a week. Now, this is Liverpool's sort of wage bill. Top earners: Salah on 400 grand a week. Virgil van Dijk, £350,000 to £400,000 a week. We've got Trent Alexander-Arnold when he was at Liverpool. It's on £180,000 per week. Andy Robertson, £160,000 per week. We've got Florentine Ritz, who Liverpool just bought, £200,000 a week. We've got McAllister on £150,000 a week. We've got Nunez on 140. We've got Diego Jota on 140. Luis Diaz, £55,000 a week. And I think this is Arsenal's now. We've got Havertz on 280,000. Gabriel Jesus on 265. We've got, I won't name him. I can't name him. I'm sorry. That player that used to play for West Ham, that did play for Ireland, but he went and betrayed us and went to play for England. Him. He's on £240,000 per week. We've got Odegaard on 240,000. We've got Thomas Partey, who's now left Arsenal, at 200 grand a week. We've got Saka, England international, 195,000. We've got Saliba, 190,000. Gabriel Martinelli, 180. We've got Bren White on 150. We've got Zenit 150. We've got David Raya, 100 grand. We've got Thomas Sura, 100 grand. We've got Gabriel on 100 grand. We've got Leonardo Trossard on 90,000, and then Timber on 90 grand. So that is, I will put this all up on the channel's members post for you guys. But it just proves that we don't pay the wages. I mean, Mason Mount hasn't played for Manchester United hardly, and he's getting 250 grand a week. And you're telling me James Kulu, who's on 10, should be on that myself. So I mean, you can't tell me that we pay the good wages. We don't. Gibbs, another big clubs hire lawyers to get around PSR and FFP. Levy suits it as an excuse to be cheap. That's the difference. Let's keep it civil in the chat. All right, is there okay? Boris, now I remember why Leeds and the Bayerns hated fan base in Yorkshire because of something. Oh dear. All right, let's see. Big up to Preston. It says good call, Gerard. Big up to you. 200k is not a lot. You bargain on about transfer fees again. Like Levy apology. Pardon me. Gibbs is a week is insane. Even Man United, the worst club for wages, have one single Deadwood player and that figure. And there's Ashford. Yeah, exactly. We've got David Clark. I watched an interview with Atletico Madrid podcaster who has connections inside the club, and he says they don't have the finances to pay for 70 million for Romero. I doubted that as well, David. But football clubs will make structured deals. They'll do it for 3 or 4 or 5 years. They're way around doing it. Would you take Champions League football outright, win it? I would finish it, and would you sack? Well, I would sack Thomas Frank if he finished 17th. It doesn't matter if you win Champions League football. You still sack the manager because the league's your bread and butter. Big up to Chris Leeds. We Leeds will finish above you this season coming up. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, dear, I wouldn't be surprised. Big up, Chris. You're welcome into the chat, sir. Well done. We'll have to get you on before the season starts, sir. So do send us an email. It's great to see other fans come in. I like other fans coming in because it's a bit of banter. It's a bit of banter, and that's what it's all about. Sorry, I'm so behind in the chat. We are Spurs TV. Just be polite, and Gibbs as well. Just keep it civil, guys, if you can. Big up to Hot God 10. Big up to Hot God 10. Good evening, Dermot and chat. Okay. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay. Right. Fine. Big up to Rhino. All right. Okay. All right. I'm not surprised. Oh, Lord. All right. No, fair enough. No, that's fair enough. No, that's fair enough. No, you're right to do that. Good. Well done, Colin. Thank you so much. So I got good mods in this chat. Big up Rhino, big up Dermo. Can't wait to have a debate with you. So yeah, we're going to get it done next week, man. We'll get it done. Might even get it done for this weekend, or next Monday. I make sure when Tequila or one of the lads are free, we might have Tequila in to referee it. You and me will have this debate. I might get you on actually during the week, Rhino. Before the end of the week, actually get you on for a show. So winning nothing, finish fifth at success. Well, it was better than finish 17th. Trust me, he isn't timed out for something. He's all right. Okay. Thanks, guys. Mo. Wonder why nobody wants to sign. Oh, there you go. Big up with Spurs. 1924 hours after West Ham sold their female club to themselves and made PSR and FAP look like an absolute joke. That is also another thing I'm going to go in tomorrow. Tomorrow's show. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to have to do my research on that and try to get some information on that. But I get it. Chelsea did the same. They sold the women's club to themselves. And we've got this Manchester City thing hanging around like a bad smell. And that's not even been dealt with yet. But look, as I said, I'll talk about that tomorrow. I'll do my research. I may do that as a pre-record, so I don't know yet, guys. Give me 17th every season, says Piston. A trophy, especially Championship, if possible. Thank you very much. I would like to know what people would you take 17th? Look, I don't know if you're a Tottenham fan or you're another fan. I don't know. I'm assuming you're a Spurs fan. But we're entitled to have our opinion. We're entitled to complain where we don't see things happening. And it's okay you saying what you're saying, but we're not a toxic club. We're a club that's not building on what we had last season. So we're allowed to have an opinion. We're allowed to complain. If you look at the likes of other clubs, and I've just made an example of how much other players are getting per week. Win, lose, or draw, I'm Tottenham through and through. I've been Tottenham fan now for this would be my, I want to get this right, I think 43rd or 44th year of supporting this football club. I've seen the good, I've seen the bad, and I've seen the ugly. I start every season that we're going to win every trophy we're in for, but I want to see progression in the transfer market. I want to see players come in. I want to see us build on what we built on under Ange Postecoglou. Now, I don't know how long you've been supporting Tottenham Hotspur or how long you've been following the club, but I think every fan that comes into this channel, comes onto this podcast or whatever, has their right within the reason of being respectful to have their opinion. Doesn't matter if you're pro Levy, against Levy, pro Enoch, against Levy, against Enoch, pro Thomas Frank, against Thomas Frank, whatever. You're entitled to your opinion. There was times last season I was pro Ange. Tequila would back me up in this. Tequila was against Ange. Did we fall out about it? No. Did Tequila come on and have his say about Ange Postecoglou? Yes, he did, and his points were respected. When we lost against Liverpool, I think 6-2, Tequila could have come on and said, told you, but he didn't. He came on and he supported his friend who was hurting, because I was hurting, because I hate losing to teams like Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, West Ham. I hate losing, full stop. And I think if you have a right to say what you say, and you're entitled to what you say, just be respect everyone. And this is not just at you, but this is for everyone. Everyone needs to be respected other people's opinions, because we are a fan base at the end of the day. This is a channel, and this is a channel that we should be there for one another. We should respect one another. We should be there when the times are bad, to be there for one another when the times are good. And yeah, I have a right to be angry. I have a right to be disappointed. I have a right to vent my frustrations. Of course I do. Everyone does it. Well, if you don't like it, then why are you watching? Seriously. Honestly. Go and watch, I don't know. Go and watch a Man United channel. I'm sure that'd cheer you up. Does me. I'll lead the Man United agenda, by the way. You don't really care. I know you don't. You got enough problems at United, you have. That's why I love watching Man United agenda, because it does cheer me up. If you do want to watch another football channel, Man United agenda, guys, if you do, Colin, put your link in the chat there, guys. It's a good bunch of guys over there. Always respect other fans as well. Same here. I've been with you. I've been a fan since Keith Birkinshaw back in the early 80s. So I've been here since. Yeah, I remember us vaguely winning us 8-1. I remember 82. Definitely remember 84. Yeah, listen to you bitch and freak out. Yeah, it's actually quite funny watching Colin bitch and freak out. Actually, it is really funny. But on that bombshell, we're going to leave it there. Guys, thank you all for watching. If you can, hit that like button, hit that subscription button as well. Look, I'm sorry it's not the most happiest of streams. I'm sorry that I've had my frustrations got the better of me. And I think because of where we're going, and you see why the club's doing better than us. And I get everyone's not going to be frustrated as I am, but I see us could build on something so much better under Thomas Frank. I really can. But look, guys, that is Column's link there. Do get over there. I'll tell you what. I like watching other channels, right? And I do watch the guys. I do because Column's an owner of this channel with me, and he does a lot of work behind the scenes. But I do like to support him when he does his own show as well. So big up. Go and like the show. Go and sip the tears of us United fans. Put a smile on your face. Yeah, exactly. But big up to EA Spurs. Big up I've subbed. Big up to you, EA Spurs TV. Look, they're on their march for 4K. We're on a march for 3K. So let's get there. There was something Christopher put in. Yeah, that's fine. Big up Tequila. Long time no speak. This one, I want to finish up on this. It is THFC. The Bill Nicholson gates will be reinstated within the stadium endeavours this summer, with further details to be communicated. Sports. This, I have been a big passionate about getting the gates back into Tottenham, getting the Bill Nick gates. I'm going to love where they're going to put them. I don't know where they will put them, actually. That is a very good question. Where they will put the gates. Where do you think they'll put them, Christopher? Just let me know in the chat what you think. But guys, look, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you all for watching. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with more Tottenham news. Hopefully with better news. Hopefully with a Tottenham signing. I think that would cheer us all up if we got a signing through the door. And I think if one starts, then I think it'll be a domino effect. And it would just go one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. Well, whatever you do, guys, do hit the like button, hit the subscription button as well. They said they will be not by, well, if they are by the hotel, I'll move them myself. I'll go over there. I get Tequila down from Luton. Me and Tequila will go down and we move them ourselves to somewhere nice. But yeah, we end it on that bombshell. Thanks all for watching. Goodbye. God bless. And see you tomorrow. Bye.